going to look at things again. This in NinjaTrader are the chart styles which are available. See the Hague style? That's JB's. I think he took Heikin-Ashi and somehow correlated it to Drummond geometry. Okay. I think what I'm going to do is later on, see, I will have files and documentation somewhere around here, because I save everything on the Hague, and we can perhaps get into that later. This chart is just ordinary candle sticks. You see, it's turning green. Price goes up. Let's look at this first. I don't see any red in there. Well, it might be a little bit there. And price goes up. With ordinary candlesticks, the green seems to be disappearing. Oh, one thing that I notice is that ordinary candlesticks, like this chart, a red occurs usually one bar before JB's Hague bars start to turn red. Ordinary candlesticks are ahead, but that makes sense because JB, in a move down, didn't want to see any green. Well, in this ordinary candlestick situation, well, there is no green until down here. Okay. I want to talk about something. I'm just wondering, do you... So here's some chop. How does it exit to the downside? Well, you start to get red. At this particular point here, for example, let's just talk about price area. It could be a Fibonacci, it could be any line, it could be any area, but in this particular bar, we're starting to get green. Does that mean to get excuse me, to become alert, that the spikes will start to hold? It's a good question to ask, isn't it? Down here, at this price level, the red is starting to disappear. If that's the case, then the spike is going to hold. We get green, okay, price moves up, we start to get red while this bar is forming. That's putting you on alert that the spike is going to hold. I'm just saying, maybe I am a Marxist and I don't really think very much. And being a Marxist, it would be helpful if something shows me what reality is. I think that makes sense. So what these studies are doing is stating at that price level, what, just under 318 in gold, starting to get some red, okay? Well, that bar's going on, and the spike's going to hold. What do you expect out of that? I don't know. I'm a Marxist. All I know is disagree with somebody, I'll just kill them. Perfect. Um, I mean, anybody disagrees with me. I mean, it's part of royalty. It's part of, the king or queen, the court. Imagine what, you displease the queen, off with your head. Perfect. I think it's wonderful. Mankind. Oh, by the way, I was thinking of the book that Charlie wrote, P&L's Association with Awareness. I think that book is a gem. If I recall, it basically proves and states that mankind is doomed. And the idea to survive is to avoid the doomed condition of man. And that book offers ways to do it. Looking at this chart, it is also suggesting how to get away from the doomed condition of man. How? Well, from the looks of it, if grain starts to turn red, just suggesting that that price area is a sale and, go short. If you want to avoid the doomed condition of man, do not become a human and become a pig. You don't really need 100 contracts or 1,000 contracts on this. I mean, artificial intelligence, for example, a computer, if it got hold of this code, it would decide to sell 1 million contracts here. Then what good is that? What good is that? Artificial intelligence does not have a soul. It presents a reality, such as the code here for a human idiot like me, because I'm human, I'm doomed. Artificial intelligence here, the computer, is showing my little brain, a very demented brain, that something's going on at this price. Getting some red. If it is a sale, the stupid spike holds. Same here. Green, great. Oh, red. Spike holds. Talk about being doomed. This is a 500 tick. Here's a spot right here. Might be worth looking at. Then I'm going to get on to another topic. Red's disappearing, spikes holding. What do you expect if red's disappearing and the spike's holding? You expect green. You expect green. What's happening at this price? You're getting some green, but you know what I'm going to say. You seem to be getting some red too on this ordinary candlestick. That is suggesting, these reds coming in here, that perhaps that price area is being sold. This price area is being bought. This price area is being sold. Like a rectangle congestion. Well, how's it going to exit congestion to the downside? Well, the spike's going to hold. You're going to get red. See the spike pushing down? Here, let me take this off. There's the rectangle. How does it exit? How does price move to the downside? For our work here, the spike is doing it. So if you're a Marxist like me and totally demented, I mean, I just think what it was like in the time of Marx. When was he born? 1803 or something? Oh, by the way, the property that I have here in Nova Scotia was settled in 1808. I'm not kidding. Where I'm sitting right now, the original settlers came here in 1808. Karl Marx is just going goo-goo, if I remember. But I'm becoming a Marxist. I agree that mankind is stupid, especially the Scottish people. I don't know the Pole. I know a Pole, someone from Poland. He's a wonderful person. He's from around here. But any Scottish people around here? Ew, they wear kilts. What's that all about? I agree with Karl Marx. The Scottish people should just be done away with. Naughty, 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 naughty people. And this price chart, quite frankly, is very naughty, naughty, naughty if I wanted to go long. If I want to go long. I mean, if I'm going long, I want the spikes to be pushing up. I want to see some green. I'm just not getting it. That's no good. I'm buying. Just saying. Know what I'm saying? Now, the other thing I want to... Oh, by the way, I put on this chart the mid line. See it there? Because that thing, believe it or not, it's like the old peel dog, is pushing price. Okay? You won't remember this, but that line is pushing price up and getting some red. So something, you know what's going on. Well, the other thing I want to mention is I would like to move, let's say, because as I say, my bandwidth here is 0.5 megabytes per second, and you need about 20 to do a trade room or something. So I'm going to have to move, I think, so I can have an internet speed, and have a trade room or something, a group meeting or something. If anybody's interested in this work, to reinforce, because me talking for 20 minutes here or something, it's not going to do much to your brain, because your brain, getting tired of my voice, it's getting tired of this, and I tried to explain in my movie before this, it's out of control, it cannot focus, it can't, that's one of the advantages of being demented like me. You're only able to think of one thing, basically. You're even wondering what it is. I mean, you don't really even know what it is. You're just trying to figure out what it is. So because of my dementia, I'm looking at this chart and trying to figure out what it is. Well, it's a chart, and it's got colors on it, and I got green, and I got red. What else does this demented mind see? Let's go into that. What do I see? And it's designed this way. How can I put it? It's designed that price will always, 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 even if it goes out like that, it's going to go back in. But price is always contained in these it's always contained the upside in the red and the lower side in the green, okay? So we're always dealing with price wandering around, basically, let's say in red, okay? In red and in green. So that's all that's doing. As I said, I've been talking about for quite some time, since the 1960s, even to some friends who I knew at that time, their mind was out of control. They said, "What are you talking about?" Well, I tried to say that at this particular point, this being a 500 tick, or this being a daily chart, that I have something, as I say, from the monthly. I would draw it on my chart, on my daily chart. It would be a 5-2 or whatever. And I would watch the daily, what it did at that price point. At that price point. It's the same thing here. What if there was something, this is a 500 tick, right here, I'm not gonna draw it up, from the 2000 tick chart. I mean, so what you could do is put the overlay of the slow chart being the daily or the 10,000 tick chart or the volume chart or something, on this fast chart, the 500 tick. It's flying around. But what happens when it arrives at something from a slow chart, a line, a price area? The thing is that if it's a sale, you're going to see the green disappear on HB's bars, Hag bars, or you're going to see it on any candlestick. Fibonacci, anything, the green is going to disappear. Okay? It's starting to disappear. You're getting some here. But still, at this price point, you have an upper red thing that you know price is not going to get through. So you're anticipating that the spike's going to hold for, for your sale. Wait a moment. Anyways, I want to talk about, and I'll finish off. So all you have to do is deal with this with the, I don't know, what, 3 areas? Let's say the red, the green, and what's between it. See? And you've got that line there. So you've got red and green. Now, what I'm thinking of is, would there be an advantage to coloring this in, let's say a dark red or something for red, and coloring in the green? Because that would force the mind to think of the fact that I'm in red area. Is it a buy or is it a sale? I'm in the green area. Okay? That's all you have to think about. Is it a buy or is it a sale? If it's a buy, you're going to get green. If it's a sale, you're going to get red. And the spike's going to hold. If it's a buy, you're going to get green. The spike's going to hold. If it's a sale, you're going to start to get some red, and the spikes are going to hold at that price level. Down here, if this price area is a buy, if this green is a buy, you're going to see the red start to disappear, and you're going to see the spikes start to hold. Okay. I know I got a lot more I want to talk about, but this movie's getting a bit long once again. Let me pause. So what I have done here, I've put something from the 2000 tick. It could be the 10,000 tick. This would be the Yellow Brick Road from the 2000 tick. But anyways, notice this line. Okay, I'm just saying. If it is a sale, green's going to disappear. And what I'm trying to do here is not saying I'm getting red. Sell. What I'm training my mind is that the green is disappearing. Pardon me, the red is disappearing. If it is, no, wait a moment. I'm saying the green is disappearing. The green is disappearing. if so, there's no other way that this price area, this line, can become a sale. If that's the case, spike holds. This thing, spike holds. I mean, this chart is useless without the spike. Okay? And the spike evolved as a result of 10 million hours anyway, over 4 or 5 decades, whatever, with code and seeing and combining whatever in termination. All right? It evolved. The spike is priceless, basically, because you're not buying. Here's a green line down here. Okay, if it is a buy, the red's going to disappear and the spike's going to start to hold, and you're going to get green. What I'm saying is that you can use the whatever it's going to be called, the spikes and the color change. There's a line. Is it a buy here? Yeah. How do I know that? Well, red's disappearing. The spike is holding. Oh, yeah, and I'm getting some green. Okay, but it comes up to the midline, which controls price of the 10,000 or the 2,000 tick overlay. So if this price area is a sale, then red's going to disappear, and you're going to be selling against the spike. Now this price, for example, this price right there, if it's a buy, then the red's going to disappear, which it does. The spike is going to hold. However, at that line, is it a sale? If it is, the green's going to disappear and the spike's going to start to hold. And it does. Same here. This line. Red disappears, spike holds, goes up to this line. If this is becoming a sale, green disappears and that spike holds. So when you're seeing some red there, you're saying, okay, I'm going to have to go short against the spike. But you're going to be able to say, well, it's that line. If you want to, that is. Let's do something here. Here, I'm turning this into a 10,000 tick chart. Well, this line is becoming a sale. How do I know that? Green's disappearing, spike's holding. This is becoming a buy from the 10,000 tick. How do I know that? Red's disappearing, spike is holding. What's happening at this price? Are you seeing the green? No. Are you starting to see some red? Well, yeah. So you can reverse short against the spike. You can also say, if you understand the yellow brick road theory, that this midline is being sold. But once again, I think I would like maybe, like what if the red area is all painted in and filled in with one color so that you could possibly see easily down here that I'm in the green. Oh, I don't think it's really necessary. What else can I say? No. And I'll shut up for now. What can I say? I mean, just look at it. basically what I want to say is don't become a Marxist like me and want to control everybody. And it's great as long as I'm in control and I can wander around with nice clothes on and have nice shots of me on the internet, my pretty face or something. I mean, that would be great because, I care so much about the people under me, but don't take my pretty dress away from me or my nice costume, my little crown. Nope, I don't think I'm going to like that because I'm an important person. Guess what? I'm a king or queen and I get the people under me to pay for me so I can smile and be nice and all that sort of thing. What I want to say, I think, as I mentioned earlier in this movie, don't become a human. Do not become a pig. A pig. Take what is here and maybe trade just for 2 or 3 hours a day and make like 5 or 10 contracts or something. For example, if you went... what have I done wrong now? If you went long here, if you went long here and got short here, that's $100? Yeah. $100 in an hour, let's say. That's being the five. Well, whatever. So that's $500. You know where I'm going? We're 10 contracts. $1,000 in an hour. Because you're going to draw attention, even if you are making that kind of money per hour. You're going to get noticed. Like, I'm talking from experience, okay? I remember somehow being demanded. You have problems where you put your shoes or something, but your long-term memory is still there. I can still see my Rolls Royce. And I walked to get into it. I noticed the back, the trunk. Somebody had taken the baseball bat to the trunk. Why? Because I'm rich. The person saw wealth. You know what I said when I saw that? I said, good for you, whoever did that, because I knew where they were coming from. I've never been jealous of wealth in my whole life for some reason. I don't dislike wealthy people. I dislike stupid people. But I understand why they behave as they do. So I'm just saying, be cool, be calm, have some grace. Have some grace. And if you want to trade all day long and make $1,000 an hour, $8,000 a day, $8,000 a day, well, why not? Why not? Why not? But I guess you're going to have to get some bodyguards. Who writes this stuff, right? Whoops, 30-minute movie again. Okay, what I think I'm going to be doing now is somehow moving into a private area somehow, so that the Gang of Three we can see where we're going with things from here on in. But once again, all it does is bounce around in green and red. Green and red, that's all it does, all day long. Any chart. And we're able to tell if the green's a buy, lower green's a buy. How do you know that? Well, red disappears, spike holds. And we're going to know when the red's a sale. How do we know that? Well, green disappears, spike holds. Look at it. Goes down into green, green being from here to here. We could put another color on it. We could put this as gray and this magenta in case we don't want to confuse the bars, but you know. Like at this price level, you are alert to red disappearing. As you know, price is not going to leave the lower green area. I mean, so once you see this lift off out of the spike, that means the spike is a buy. It's going to hold. So it's becoming a buy. Anyway, look, always contained within the red and the green. If you were selling this, okay, so you want spikes to hold and red to be sold. Well, sorry, red's disappearing and the spike is being bought. See it? So red's up at this point, not down. As I say, it would be great if I could have it. Although I had a trading room, the Marxists would put me in jail or something. I mean, you can't even cut hair in Canada without going to university for 30 years and going $200,000 in debt to get a license to cut hair. So maybe I won't be allowed to have a trade room. Because I don't have a license. I'm not permitted. Okay, that's it for now. Thanks.